Well, good evening and welcome to the Town Hall Get to Know broadcast. We are so pleased that you're here with us this evening. We have a very special guest with us this evening. I'm looking forward to introducing to you Shemane Nugent. You may know her. She is a best-selling author. She's a fitness instructor. She is also a television producer and host of her own show. She's also the wife to musician Ted Nugent, one of my favorites, definitely. And Ted is a singer. He's a songwriter and a guitarist who gained fame with originally the Amboy Dukes. He's out in his own. I had the pleasure of seeing him a couple years ago. Sat front row, but I am so blessed to have his wife, Shemane, with us this evening. She was born in Michigan, by the way, raised in Jackson County, Missouri. And she has a Bachelor of Arts in radio and TV and film, and went on to get a master's degree in metaphysics. She was diagnosed early on with a pre-emphysema, a lung condition that starves the bloodstream of oxygen. We're going to talk about that. She almost died, but she's here with us, and we're so blessed that she is. She was a health and fitness freak. We're going to talk about that. She is a health and fitness instructor. And so without further ado, I'm going to go ahead. Let's bring her on.
Hey there. Thanks so much for having me. And I have one correction. I was born in Michigan, not Missouri.
Did I say Missouri?
Yeah, that's okay.
Why did I think Missouri?
My Michigander friends might be upset, but it's okay.
Okay, sorry about that, Michigan.
No worries. No worries. Yeah. It's all good.
Awesome. So thank you so very much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
You're very, very welcome. And so this town hall, as the viewers might know, or if you don't know, this is about influential people, just like Shemane, who are making a positive impact in their communities. And so that's why she's here tonight. She's going to share with us her wisdom. I want to ask everybody, definitely don't change the channel. We want to thank all of those people that are watching on Facebook and as well on Roku and Amazon Fire. Please don't change this channel because you're going to miss something that's really important. Okay, so stick with us. We also want to acknowledge our sponsors, and that is Total Coatings as well as Cool Today. Thank you so very much. They help make programs like this accessible to you folks, and I certainly appreciate them very much. We'll go to some commercials and later in the show, but the point is, we're so glad to have you.
Well, thanks so much. I appreciate it.
Yes. So I'd like you to tell the viewers a little bit about yourself so that they can get to know you, Shemane.
Well, I was born and raised in Michigan, and my home that was once featured on MTV Cribs was contaminated with toxic mold. We never saw anything. It happened between the walls, and I just kept getting sicker and sicker. And I was diagnosed, as you say, with having pre-emphysema, and I had 4 different types of mold in my bloodstream. So rather than go, I had 2 choices. I could barely walk up a flight of stairs, and I was once named Detroit's most physical female. And I had 2 choices, go to the Mayo Clinic and be given more drugs, which would cover the symptoms, cover the problem, or basically detoxify my body, which is what I did. And now I'm on a mission from God to share my healthy journey with people, because the human body has an amazing ability to heal, and I'm living proof. And I just want to help people get healthy.
That's so exceptional. It's interesting how from our most painful, darkest moments of our life that we can draw our strength from that and then be able to share that with others. That's paying it forward, and that's such a blessing. And so I'm so grateful that you do that. That's what attracted me to you. I saw your videos on Facebook, and it's like, wow, she's so awesome. And then I'm just so blessed that you're here with us tonight. Now, before we go much further, I've got a little clip that Shemane allows us to be able to play. So let's just play this short clip, and that'll help you understand where she's coming from today.
Hey everybody, how are you? If you're joining me for the first time, my name is Shemane, and I thought I would send you this post, this message, to have hope in difficult times. My goal is by the time you are done watching this, you feel a little bit more positive about certain situations that are going on. And I do want to start by saying, Fortunately, my phone has not been ringing off the hook today. Lots of people, not too many, just a few people have texted me and said, hey, what's going on? I thought something was supposed to happen today. Well, yesterday I said something could happen. Nobody knows. I don't know. Do you know? Nobody knows for sure. So I think that's what's the most important thing. And the reason I titled this Hope in Difficult Times is because I don't want you to lose that precious hope. I don't want you to worry and to be anxious about things. We cannot control certain things in life, and that's difficult. So here's what I want to do. I'm going to say hello to everybody who's joining. And if you're watching this on Instagram, or I think I'll post it on BitChute as well, or Rumble. I am streaming live right now via Facebook and Periscope, and also on YouTube. We are live. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Okay. I want to read a couple things to you. Oh, and guess what time it is? Are you with me? What time was it yesterday when I came to you? It's wine time. So yesterday I started out by saying, here's what I did today. So I want to tell you, here's what I did today. I met with some friends. Chris and Amanda Helms had a visit, and we went out to a lunch, and we played with our dogs, and we had a great, wonderful chat around the kitchen table. It was nice to be with old friends. And now I'm going to have wine. I'm not going to turn on the TV. I'm not going to listen to the radio. I'm going to fill my spirit. Oh, and I forgot, most important thing. Well, one of the most important things. This morning, I worked out with, I invited Rocco and his girlfriend, Belle, to join me for my first class in my new Zumba room. So we had a really good time working out. And that is what you should really do. You should start being selfish, start taking care of yourself if you haven't already. Put your health and your mindset first. Hey.
Mindset first, right?
Yes, absolutely.
That's so awesome. Now, you were always into physical fitness, apparently.
Yeah, most of my life. I grew up a tomboy. I was a competitive swimmer. I won state champion twice. I was a gymnast. I was a high school and college cheerleader, and I used to race motocross, and I did a little bit of everything.
I knew that there was racing involved. I didn't know that it was motorcycles.
Yeah.
That's so awesome. So was that dirt bikes, or was that?
Yep.
Dirt
Motocross.
bikes? Oh,
yep.
You're after my heart. I grew up riding dirt bikes.
Did you? Good.
Yes, Southern California. Yeah.
Ah.
So grew up around some of the greats and set the stage for the Supercross. Absolutely.
Ah, good for you.
Yeah. Well, those are my California days. But now you teach healthy routines. You're physically fit. You've got a fitness class that you're doing. Maybe you can tell the viewers a little bit about what you're doing with respect to your routines when it comes to physical fitness.
I do everything. I just got back from a ski trip, an impromptu ski trip. I love to be active. I love to challenge myself. So I mix it up. And I think it's really important as we age to make sure that we do some strength training, make sure that we do some stretching, and also cardiovascular fitness. I do yoga. I do not CrossFit so much, but I'm a Zumba instructor, Zumba fitness instructor. I worked for Zumba, and I created some programs, and I traveled all over the world teaching hundreds of thousands of fitness instructors and fitness enthusiasts. And I actually have a little bit of scoliosis. And what I found is that if I don't move my hips and I don't work my body, I'm in pain and I can't move. So for me, being physically fit is not just, the side effect is that I stay in shape. But for me, I have to do something, anything, every day. I have to move my body. I have to stretch, but I do love it. So I feel good about that.
It is. Physical fitness is part of a healthy mind as well. And clearly having a healthy mind is something that you are so interested in as well. Now, what prompted you to get involved and go after your master's degree in metaphysics?
Well, I was getting debilitating migraines, and we found out there were several reasons. One was because of the mold inside my home, and I went to dozens of doctors who gave me different prescriptions, and even one doctor said, maybe you're too stressed. And I said, you think? But it's a vicious cycle because they'll say, are you sad? Are you depressed? Well, I'm getting debilitating migraines. I cannot do the things that I love to do. So yes, that's kind of depressing. So I had a doctor give me, back when we had audio cassette tapes, he gave me a bunch of audio cassette tapes with nature sounds. And he said, go in your room, close the door, turn off the lights, and listen to these sounds. And I thought, well, why don't I just go sit in a tree stand with my husband and experience it for myself? But ultimately, I realized that there was an incredible connection between the mind and the body. And yes, I was one of those people who, if you said something nasty to me or hurtful to me, I took it in and I didn't know how to get rid of it. So I knew that that was part of my healing journey. It has to be mind, body, and spirit, I believe, to ultimately be healthy, because you could have an amazing physique. You could look great in a bikini or a Speedo, whatever floats your boat. But if you're not happy inside, you're not healthy. So you have to find peace in your heart and stop the voice in your head, that negative mindset. And I've done a lot of soul searching, a lot of personal development. And the reason I did get my master's degree in metaphysics is I thought, well, if I'm going to do all this research, I might as well get something out of it.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's so important because, of course, I found myself doing the same thing, is having to take a real look at myself, and a personal inventory, and start changing my thinking.
Yeah.
It is
The
all about,
stinking thinking.
yes, it's thinking is
Yeah.
correct. But it can be changed, right?
Yeah, it really can. And you know what I find? I've done a lot of online programs, and especially now with the pandemic, it's easier to do things like that. And I'm launching a new program. It starts February 18th, and it's just for women. Sorry. But I find that a lot of women struggle with putting themselves first, especially when they get to be my age and they have raised children, and the children move away and they have their own lives, and the women are left with, what do I do now? I don't know how to function if I don't put other people's needs in front of my own. So I've been able to launch a few programs, and I found that women really need to find the thing that makes their heart sing. Well, everybody does.
Yes.
And when you do that, I believe our purpose in life is to find your gift and then to give it away. And when we help others through their tragedies and obstacles, we are ourselves learning, but we're also fulfilling God's purpose in our life.
I agree 100% with that. It takes self-care. I came up, and I'm sure I'm not alone. It's in that flow anyways. It's about, I had in one of my videos, it was, I had to be selfish to become selfless.
Yes.
It's about
Yes.
personal self-care first, and then you can be good for everybody else.
Absolutely. If you don't have, it's that old saying about the glass half empty or half full. If you don't fill up your glass with things that you love to do and things that make you happy, how can you give it away? And God wants us to be happy. And there's a lot of different people. The other thing that helped me is understanding the Enneagram. Are you familiar with that?
I am not familiar with that.
So the Enneagram is a personality typing system that when I discovered it, I realized, wow, it's okay that everybody doesn't agree with me and that everybody doesn't like me, because there are basically 9 different personality types. There are people who you just click with and people who you don't. And there are, let's say, for example, people who love numbers. I'm not that's not me. I need an accountant in my life to help me with all of the finance stuff. And they do that, and they do it well, and they love it. And there are people who are creatives. So it really helped to show me again that not everybody has to like me. And it's okay that we're actually different, but that we find some commonality. We're all human beings trying the best that we can do in this experiment in being human.
Yeah, this journey that we have as
Yeah.
spiritual individuals, having this human experience.
Mm.
And I think God wants us to enjoy it. And I know for myself and maybe others, certainly they didn't enjoy their existence. They just got through it. And so I just love your positivity.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, because it's your positivity, it's your transparency that you share with your viewers. And that positivity creates happiness and gives people hope, because I know that that's an important factor to you. That's where we started with, about being hopeful.
Yeah, it's really important nowadays, especially with the pandemic. I mean, people are losing hope. Depression is on the rise, suicides are on the rise. And again, it's so important to, like you said, be selfish. And that's what I encourage all of my viewers who come follow me on social media. I'm on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter and YouTube also. And I do weekly podcasts. And I want to encourage people to be selfish. And for years, I wasn't. I would put the needs of other people before my own. I would roll out the red carpet for everybody to walk all over me. And then I'd be upset. Why didn't they ask me what I wanted to do? I was one of those people where, you know, if my husband said, well, what restaurant do you want to go to for dinner? And I would say, I don't care. And then he would pick the restaurant. Well, okay, if you don't care, I'll pick it. Then I would think to myself, well, can't he read my mind? You know, it doesn't work that way. You have to be a little selfish, but you have to have healthy boundaries as well.
Yes, I think that healthy boundaries is an important factor. You've hit on some really good things. That is to get yourself to the point where you're not able to be internally affected by other people not liking you or drawing your happiness from others, and knowing it's okay to not have to agree with somebody else. You know, you don't need their approval.
That's right.
That's super important. Well, what took you to the point, because I've watched your videos evolve a little bit, and you're getting very targeted now on helping people, and that's what's so awesome. What happened that you decided, hey, look, I'm going to go after this, and I'm going to, because you are one of the top influencers in the world, is the way I see it.
Well, you're very kind. Thank you.
You're one of the, you know, you're a thought leader.
Well,
And
I do. I'll tell you, Stephen, I've watched my husband perform in front of hundreds of thousands of people over the years, and he's not shy about it. And he is unabashedly himself. And I think that if more people found those qualities within themselves to share what they know and what they love to do, whether it's honestly, like, if you can paint and share it. I mean, imagine how much art helps people. And I had dinner. My son and I were in Park City, Utah, and we were having dinner, and kind of nearby some other people. And we just ended up talking with them, and they were both massage therapists. And I said, you guys are doing God's work. You cannot imagine how much getting a massage. Well, they know, but a lot of people discount that. And I want to encourage everybody who's watching now, you've got a light. And in the Bible, it talks in Matthew 5:15, it talks about no one lights a lamp and puts it under a table. You light a lamp and you put it on top of the table so that everybody can see. And God wants you to be that light. And I think that so many of us are shy and we don't know how to do that. And you asked what transformed me. So one was my husband, and another, you're going to be totally shocked at this, another was Kanye West.
Oh, okay.
Kanye came out with the gospel album, and I loved it. It's just amazing. And I thought, imagine how difficult it must have been for him to take that course of action, and how many people, and I've heard this from my husband, when he wrote one of his most famous songs called Stranglehold, you probably heard of it.
Oh, yeah.
They basically had an intervention with him saying, you can't do that. You can't do an 11-minute song. They literally, before they went into the studio, they all argued. His crew and his producer and everybody, management company said, you can't do that. He said, are you guys done? Let's go. Let's do it. So all of that to say, there has to be a part of us who, inside of us, that wants to come out, wants desperately for our voices to be heard. And I want to encourage people, be that voice. If you can help somebody through a difficult time, if you can help, whether it's being a massage therapist or a seamstress, I need a good seamstress in my life. Your qualities, your experience in life can help someone else, whether it's running errands for the sick or elderly, or just being a sounding board, being helpful, bringing food to people who might not be able to get out at this point in life. You matter. You have a purpose to fulfill, and I just want to encourage people to do that.
I agree 100%. I say that we have these seeds of greatness. It tells us this in the Bible too. We have these seeds within us, and all we have to do is nurture those seeds, put them in fertile ground, give them water, trim away the dead branches so that it can grow better, and grow into a mature plant. And it's a process. It is.
Yeah.
And I know that you talked about nature, and I know for myself, a lot of people know me as like the Live with Nature guy. That's where that LWN, Live with Nature, actually LWN is the acronym for Live with Nature. And so it was nature that helped me in my story to be able to connect to nature, connect to source and the oneness, of the universe. And nature's so much fun. Is that something? Well, I want you to tell the viewers what the best thing about nature that you enjoy, because you are a nature person.
I am. And in my book, it's around here somewhere, one of my books.
Yeah.
4 Minutes to Happy, I write about something called earthing and how important it is for us to get our hands in the ground. Maybe not so much in winter, but it is fun to make a snowball, isn't it?
Yeah.
But to experience Mother Nature at her best. When you go outside, and I'm a hunter. We have a hunting TV show. And you know what? Honestly, I wasn't always an advocate for hunting. And now more than ever, I know that it's so important, because I see, we have an enclosure we live on a ranch that's fenced in, and every doe each year has 2 to 4 fawns, and they keep growing and multiplying. And we know, for example, in Michigan, there are 100,000 car deer accidents a year, and those are only the ones that are reported. And it's really important for us to, I think, be responsible stewards of the land and to manage wildlife. And that's what we do. So we don't go buy meat from the store. We get it I'm a bow hunter, so I get it with a sharp stick. And what that does is that puts me in touch with the energy and with Mother Nature. And when you go procure your own sustenance for your family, you won't waste a thing. And I think that's what's really important. A lot of people need to, and a lot of people want to get back to our roots, get back to nature, and especially with the pandemic, and we were scared of, the food, there would be a food shortage. Our lives didn't, as hunters, our lives didn't change a bit. We wouldn't starve,
Right.
And I grow a garden too. I have a vegetable garden too.
And see, those tools, I'll call them, are important to know, because we have become so complacent and rely on modern convenience that a lot of people just don't know what to do if the power is to go out. What are we going to do now?
This is a great awakening for us. I think we have all, took for granted those things, just going to the grocery store. And yesterday I was traveling and had to wear the mask, and I couldn't breathe. And we are on a 300-acre ranch in Texas right now. And I don't ever have to leave my house, maybe once a week to get, milk and dairy products, but because I
Right.
don't raise cows or anything, have chickens, but I think it's really important for us and to be grateful and I have a gratitude journal, and every morning, every night, I write a little bit in it. Sometimes it's just a couple of words. What are you grateful for? And I name a few things, and it kind of sets the day off for me, and it helps me to rest at night. There's so many overwhelming feelings of being scared. We don't know
Yeah.
what the future is going to hold right now. We don't know where this pandemic, what's going to happen with this virus. And it's scary for people. So it's
It is.
important for us to kind of take stock and focus on the things that we can control. Number one, your health, drinking water, exercising. We talked about going outside. It doesn't have to necessarily be spending money on going to a gym. Going outside for a walk is free.
Yes.
We need that vitamin D. We need good water. We need to exercise our bodies, minds, and spirits.
I agree 100%. I haven't done it as much lately, but I was riding a bike a lot,
Good for you.
and so that was, and I said to myself, people pay money to go to the gym. I don't have to pay to get the exercise. I mean, come on, it can be that simple.
Well, that's one of the reasons I taught, and I love to teach group fitness classes, is the side effect is, that hour that I'm teaching, I can't worry about my problems. I've got to worry about Mary in the corner who's not, bending her knees, or the music isn't right, or the sound isn't right, or the lights aren't right, or whatever it is. It's like a mind break for me. It's therapy for me. I can't worry about and focus on my problems, but I'm getting healthy too. And I'm sharing that joy that I get from exercising with other people.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
It is, especially at my age. I'm gonna keep doing this as long as I can.
There you go. It is about getting healthy, and I've been doing that myself as well this last year, and it's a continuing, ongoing journey and process to stay healthy. Because these things that we've been talking about, it takes work. This isn't the easy road by any stretch, but when a person's consistent and they stick to it and they have that determination, it pays off in the end, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. It's funny because my husband is very athletic, very energetic. If you've seen him in concert, and you said you did.
Oh my goodness.
But what he doesn't do a whole lot is stretch. And he's 72, and he's starting to get those minor aches and pains. And I've basically said, you need to stretch. And he goes, I'm stretching, right? No.
There's more to it.
No. So, it's at any age, it's never too late to start exercising.
Right.
And especially as we age, I think it's so important to stretch your body, move your body, and to do some weight training to strengthen your muscles.
Yes. I mean, I just have to back up. I was blessed to be able to sit in that front row a couple of years ago.
Did you have earplugs?
No, I didn't want them. That's why I can't hear so well.
Oh, imagine how it's been for him.
Between that and having systems in my truck, right? I pretty much, hurt my dad always said, you need to turn that down. Don't listen to that music so loud. It's like, I'm a teenager, like, well, really, the louder the better. I still feel that way, by the way.
Oh, good. Well, good.
But he was right, though. It definitely affects your hearing, by the way. Folks.
Yeah. Well, I think his hearing loss, he's almost deaf in one ear. And I think his hearing loss is not just because of the rock and roll, but also shooting.
Yes.
Shooting guns, so it's both of those things.
Yeah, absolutely. But he's got super energy. Was 70 years old, obviously.
Super energy.
Oh, my super energy is.
Yeah.
It was a delight. Absolutely 100%. Now I want you to talk about leadership. What do you see as a good quality leadership characteristics?
Well, what I look for in whether I'm doing an online program or a fitness class, I look for somebody who's got a lot of energy and inspirational, because I think one of the most important issues or obstacles that people have is that they can't get motivated to, and I will admit, if I'm at home before the pandemic, I'll share a secret with you what I do, but
You heard it here first, folks.
one of the things obstacles that I had is that if I was at home, I would find 50 different reasons why I couldn't work out. And that's part of the reason why I was teaching, because I had to be there and time, and I had to show up and teach class. And once I did, I loved it. But now what I do with the pandemic, I literally I'm not available before 11 a.m. And that's not, I work out of my home. I'm writing 2 books right now. I produce a TV show. I'm doing an online program. It's not like I'm, sitting around. I'm up at literally 5:30 or 6 in the morning, and I write. It's me time. And then I exercise. And it could be, a 10-minute workout. It could be a 20-minute, or it could be an hour. So depending on what I have planned during the day, I have to schedule me time.
That's important, and that's back to the self-care and how and these days, because of COVID, people are inside, they aren't getting out maybe as much, and I always suggest, like you did too, go take a walk.
Yeah.
It's a great way to do it. But we're cooped up, that is creating stress. And so a great way to take care of yourself is to take a walk. But self-care, super important right now as a result of what's going on around the world.
Yep. And you know what? I just want to add one more thing. You were asking me what's about leadership qualities.
Yes, leadership. Let's get back there.
I go to church. I'm not every single Sunday, but often. And I've been to Tony Robbins, some workshops and things like that. The energy is really important. But also, when I see, for example, a pastor who doesn't have a perfect past, and they've been, whether it's alcoholic or had problems with drugs or in and out of the law or whatever it is, and they've overcome obstacles, that's really motivating to me.
Yeah, it is.
I'm not saying to go get in trouble, and you can be inspirational.
Right. You don't have to go get in trouble, folks.
Yeah.
The smarter guy, which I had to learn the hard way, right? I had to go do it for myself, was to learn from other people's mistakes. That's why I share my message, right?
Yeah, I think that's, for people, and I think it's your daughter that wrote that. Is she a seamstress?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So when I was talking about being a seamstress, I hope this is okay that I say, she wrote in the chat box.
Yeah.
Love that you mentioned seamstress, one of my favorite artistic skills.
Yes.
Don't sell yourself short. My son actually is trying to create a clothing line where he'll go to Goodwill or whatever and buy different fabrics and then patchwork, hand stitch, and he also uses a sewing machine. But you never know the gift that you have, how much that can help somebody else who desperately needs it. So I want to encourage everybody to be their own incredible light to shine. Never dull your light. Never think that the gift that you have inside, whether I can name 10 things: baking, cooking, writing, sewing, helping run errands, being of service to your community. I mean, there's so many things. And what that does, like when I'm teaching a group fitness class, takes the focus off of me and my problems, or you and your problems. When you put other people first, you have healthy boundaries, but you put other people first. It's so needed these days, and it's so helpful for your mind, body, and spirit.
Well, doesn't that really go into our purpose in whatever way or whatever special talents that we might have, including, and I was just going to go there, I mean, even the person that sweeps the floor of a warehouse is an important part of the team for any company. I mean, it doesn't matter what you're doing. It's nothing less than the next guy, in my mind.
Can I speak to that for a second?
Yes, sure.
I've been to Africa a lot many times. In fact, our son Rocco, who's now 30, his name came from an Italian doctor who owns a 50,000 acre tomato ranch in Hoedspruit, South Africa. And the first time I went there was about 32 years ago, because my husband and I just celebrated our 32nd anniversary.
Yes.
And we went the first 4 months after we got married. I remember seeing, it's just such an incredible change, and you realize how good you have it, when you go to a different country. And there were a lot of workers on this 50,000 acre tomato ranch who didn't have shoes or wore the same clothes or didn't have cars or bicycles or whatever it was, jewelry, anything. And I said to our host, Dr. Rocco Joya, I said, do the workers here look at us with our, I'll be the first to, wear fancy earrings and nice clothes, and we have cameras and phones. Do they look at us and are they jealous of us? And he said, no, they feel sorry for you because you need so many things. And I think that's so critical. I mean, again, I'm the first one to, I like to wear nice clothes, but I'm going to show you something. Okay. I have ripped jeans on. I think it's really important for us to work with our hands and to be of service and to have that balance. It's okay if you go out to a nice dinner or do whatever, go on luxury vacations and everything. But I feel like our heart and soul and our spirits really soar when we get in touch with our roots, get in touch with Mother Nature, and go back to the basics.
And I think you hit on it, and it was service, and that's where I was going with this when I first started. And I'm glad that you expanded on that, because I think that God wants us to be servants. I think that that's part of our roles, no matter what area that it is, because together that gives us the strength, and it helps us to help each other and support each other. But when we're in service, because I know that I'm on a mission from God as well, that's what it's about. It's about serving others. And helping them have the best possible life that they can, and to the best of my ability, or at least offering, the things that I've learned that helped me.
Yep. And you never know when those opportunities arise, and it's important to be aware of that. Years ago, I was at Brooke Army Medical Center in San Antonio with my husband, and he brought his guitar and he would play for wounded soldiers there. And I'll never forget, there was a young man, 19-year-old Corporal John Shranowski, who was brought in the night before with burns all over his body. And Ted got, put the mask on and the gown on and everything, and went in to talk to John and motivated, encouraged him. And he's so good at that. And I stood outside the room with John's mom. And here was my son at the time, 14 years old, standing next to me. And I just thought, I don't even know what to say. I don't even know what to say to this woman who's looking at her son just in so much pain and burned all over his body. And I turned to her and I said, her name's Nancy, and I still keep in touch with her. And I said, Nancy, is there anything that you need? Is there anything that I can do for you? And she turned to me and she lit up and she goes, yes, my son is an outdoorsman, and I can't imagine him staring at these four walls, and there's no way for him to go outside. And as a burned victim, he cannot be exposed to direct sunlight, but there's no pavilion at Brooke Army Medical Center in San Antonio to shelter him from direct sunlight. And I didn't know where it came from, right. But I said, you know what? I'm going to raise the money and I'm going to build a pavilion. And I was told, the first civilian to build on government property. I built, with the help of my husband, we raised money and we built a pavilion at Brooke Army Medical Center in San Antonio.
Oh, how beautiful. That's just so wonderful.
So you just have to listen for those signs. Right.
And it is important for us to be able to, sometimes we don't recognize that it is a sign, because we're expecting it in one way and then it comes in another,
Yeah. We're expecting a bag of cash.
Yeah,
Drop
right.
or win the lottery or
Right.
whatever it is, But yeah,
Exactly.
it's sometimes in the little things.
It is in the little things,
And I'll
and
tell you also, Stephen,
yeah,
since you're about health and wellness,
yeah,
not a day goes by, not one single day that goes by that I don't pray and thank God for my health. Because when you lose your health and you're lucky enough to get it back, I feel I'm so grateful. And when I was skiing, I remember just sliding down, dancing down the mountain. And I remember just like, thank you, God, for my health. Because 20 years ago, I couldn't walk up a flight of stairs if my life depended on it.
right. So it's about not reminding ourselves not to take advantage of or be complacent. I always found that complacency was a really bad thing for me. Something bad was going to happen when I got into a complacent place. I'd make some poor choices, most likely. And so we got to keep on our toes. But the fact that gratitude plays such a big part in your life, I think that that is a really important factor. I know for myself, that's how I start my days, is with that prayer of gratitude.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so, how do you feel that a person that's feeling down, they're unhappy about their situation, they might have lost their job because of COVID, or they got sick, possibly, but somebody's really down because depression is just kicked way up as a result of the pandemic. What would you say to someone that's feeling down?
Well, it's one of the reasons why I started a new program again that launches February 18th, and it's called Reawaken. And it's about reawakening your mind, body, and spirit. And it's not just tackling the health issues. It's not just tackling spirituality and being prayerful and understanding and learning more about the Bible, but also our mindset to help dispel that negativity in your psyche. So it's a whole mind, body, spirit approach to reawakening our lives. And sometimes you just need a little shift in a lens to see things in a different way. And that's what I do. And if people want more information, they can go to my website at shemaneNugent.rocks/reawaken. And we're going to do, my friend Nikki Klegel and I are going to do 4 times a year. We're going to do a 90-minute Zoom call, basically, with, I think there's still about 15 spots open. And then we're capping it because we want to have a small group of people that we can interact with. And there's so many things that we're giving away. I've got a video that I did, or exercise, my favorite, most effective workouts. I'm going to talk about how I've been able to maintain my weight for 35 years, and I don't. If I want a cookie, I eat a cookie. I'll just say that.
Yeah, that's great. See?
So to lose weight without giving up your favorite foods is really important within moderation. But to find the thing that makes your heart sing and do it more often, we help you find your purpose in life and help you have a greater connection with God. So I'm really excited about that program. I can't wait to jump in, and it buoys my spirit to be able to communicate with so many people like you, like-minded people. And I love being able to do it on this platform. This, one of the great things is about this pandemic, if there's something great, is that
Right?
we all know what Zoom is now.
Yes, we do. It's a wonderful thing.
Yeah, yeah.
It is, and technology is playing such a huge part in it. It does allow us to be able to reach out and touch people, and that's why I am grateful for Facebook and for people like the network E360 TV that I'm with as well, to be able to get our message out, because we just care so much about people that without the technology, it'd be a whole nother ball game. We wouldn't reach as many people, and so it's just got to be grateful for that. So this is where the gratitude comes in. A book that I've been doing recently, I can grab it pretty easy, is this one here. And I don't know if you've read that maybe or not.
Who's the author? I can't. Oh, yeah. Okay, for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this is the gal from The Secret, that's
yeah,
Rhonda Burns. And of course, I love that secret and studied that a whole lot.
yeah.
But that book is all about gratitude.
Mm.
It's about a 28-day program of being grateful, and got a bunch of tasks. But You know, I've found that because gratitude is a part of my life, that my life is better as a result. I'm just happier. I don't spend a lot of time being unhappy about stuff anymore because, yeah, when,
Well,
well,
I feel like it happens to all of us at times. We get sad and depressed, and there's a lot of loneliness, isolation with this pandemic, and it's unfortunate. So that's why I encourage people to reach out. If you see somebody sitting by themselves at, a coffee shop or just on a park bench, you'll find out soon if they don't want to have a discussion with you. But you never know. If you have that God spirit in you that says, talk to him, talk to him, talk to him, say something, maybe you should. It might just be the thing that changes their life.
yes. I know that you're short on time, and we
Yep.
really want you to know how much we appreciate you being here. Do you have some final thoughts for the viewers here? What would you impart with them?
Well, one of the things that has really changed my life is, obviously getting sick and almost dying from toxic mold exposure. I'm actually producing a documentary about it right now and also writing a companion book to it. But the things in life that we think are obstacles, and I'm not shortchanging, no matter what it is, there are a lot of people who don't have the ability to speak about what's on their hearts and the heaviness that they have, the sadness. Maybe they don't think it's important enough, but I just want to encourage people to, if my program works for somebody, if they want to find out more about it, I'm so excited to be able to share the things that have changed my life. I wish I would have had this information 20 years ago. But on the other hand, Stephen, going through all those obstacles that I did, whether it's, and I talk about obstacles that I've had in my book, and I will talk about it in my program, devastating things that brought me to my knees. If I didn't have those, I wouldn't be the person that I am today. So I want to help people help themselves and get to that next level of just pure bliss and health and happiness.
That's absolutely beautifully said. Thank you so very much, Maine. I really appreciate you. God bless you in your journey. We thank you very much for sharing your wisdom today, and we just wish you well. Thank you so very
Thank
much.
you so much for having me. I really appreciate it. God bless you, and thank you for what you're doing.
Well, you're very welcome, and we appreciate all the viewers that take time to come and watch. Take care and have a great day, and we'll just have a message from our sponsors. Thank you, Shemane.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye now.
We let our bathtub go too long. It had rust in it, it had deep pitting in it, there were chips. I, quite frankly, thought it was unrepairable.
Total Coatings is a family-owned and operated bathtub and shower refinishing company. We've been around since 2006, but we use a exclusive non-toxic porcelain coating that was developed over 60 years ago by a franchise in California. So the product is very well established. We refinish bathtubs, showers, wall tile, countertops, and even sinks. Customers want to know what makes our product different, and that's, of course, the exclusive non-toxic porcelain. We also don't acid etch the surface, so you don't have to leave your home because of noxious fumes.
I was completely and utterly shocked. It looked like a brand new bathtub. I would recommend Total Coatings to anybody.
All right, we want to thank our sponsors, Total Coatings, as well as Cool Today. Get the best from Cool Today. Give them a call. They can help you out with their tubs, refinish those for you, or your air conditioning, heating, solar, or electrical needs. So we want a special thank you to Shemane for taking time out of her busy schedule to join us here. That was really powerful. We want you to know that we care about you. We want for you to be positive. We want you to know that there is hope, there's light in the darkness, and it's just a matter of getting into a healthy routine and implementing that on a consistent daily basis. You know, it's not easy. It will take a lot of work. It will also take determination, dedication, the consistency part, and then visualization of that goal already achieved. And you can do anything, and we believe in you. So we appreciate you taking time to join us. Do come back next Monday as well, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Now, this show is on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, evenings, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Next Monday, February 15th, we have Don Green. He is the CEO of the Napoleon Hill Foundation. This is going to be an exciting broadcast as well. If you're familiar with Napoleon Hill and Think and Grow Rich, you just don't want to miss this. It's going to be such an exceptional broadcast. In the meantime, we want you to take care, have a great day, enjoy, and know that we love you. God bless. We'll see you soon.